Could this be the buoy? There it is. A metal and plastic contraption bobs up and down amidst the trembling reeds. At first, it just looks like trash, but if you look closer, that over there must be the buoy Classy told us about, the one she hid her passport in. We should take a look. Not tied to anything. The number 11 has been written on the yellow plastic. It hasn't been in the water for very long, but it's already discolored and slimy with silt. A latch holds it closed, but only just barely. The brittle metal of the latch has cracked. Simple construction, very unsafe. Sniff it. Concentrated version of the coast. Salt, industrial slop, and decay. The water this side of the peninsula is cleaner, actually. Smells a little salty. Something in there. A shot glass's worth of seawater pours out some algae and nothing else. Well, damn. I have no idea. If I say it's a disaster, do I lose morale? Probably. We know it was in there anyway. Or think we do. This is a small loose end either way. Maybe Classy took them herself. Keep an eye on her. You could ask the miss what she thinks later if you have time. Though you doubt she'll tell you much at this point. Alright. Found it weird that in this medieval-ish fantasy setting, the characters are suddenly eating hamburgers and ice cream sundaes, and people don't seem to grasp why that might take someone out of the story. Like, actually hamburgers and ice cream sundaes? Because that is exceptionally silly. Oh, is this the... This is the guy. This is the husband. Soggy logs, smell of ignition fluid. Still, they won't light up. Almost impossible to get a fire going this near to the ocean.
Here we go. Nice and easy. No way out, little guys. Not out of this jam.
Did you do it? Did you find Bigfoot? There's a cylinder on the ground in which the man is arranging some netting. Looks like some kind of trap.
Who's
He
there?
notices you.
Oh, the police. Hello, officer.
His self-conscious enthusiasm renders his movements ungainly. He looks like your understanding of a scientist.
Is that the police? Why's the police here?
Why does your voice sound like that? You're not inside, and you're not far away.
Don't worry, Gary. I'll handle it. To what do I owe the pleasure?
That's sarcasm. You don't seem too happy to see the
Oh, no,
RCM.
it's all right. I'm just busy. What's this about?
Lena sent me. She's been really worried about you and is waiting for you to get back.
Of course. Thank you for passing along the message.
Big
That
experience.
damn waterlock is broken, and we can't go all the way around the 881.
I could tell him it was me. Hamburg steaks. An actual ice cream sundae served by a guy in a tuxedo. Ice cream was invented like 2,000 years ago, I guess. But chocolate syrup? They invented that just the other day. I'll withhold the story.
Oh, good. We should really be getting back. Gary could use a hot shower and a warm bed.
Did he say we can go back now?
Yes, Gary, we can go soon.
Why?
See me up.
Wait.
Tell her I won't be long.
A cryptozoologist and a cryptofascist, apparently.
Sir, your wife is waiting for you.
I just have to do one more round. See if the phasmid has taken the bait. Then we're going.
His hands are large and weather-worn, but also used to delicate, precise work. For all his passion, this man is diligent and patient. You could learn things from him. Tell me about this phasmid you're looking for. Well, first of all, it's damn difficult to find, which is why we've been knee-deep in the reeds laying traps for it. How big is it? I'm expecting it to be quite giant. One known species of phasmid called Megaphasmodidae zoanensis is about the size of a grown man's forearm, so... Aren't there more sensational animals out there? Typical rookie assumption. Insects are much more sophisticated creatures than those unversed in zoology give them credit for. Even simply catching a glimpse of the Insulindian phasmid would be the apex of my, and any, cryptozoologist's career. Wouldn't catching a glimpse of any like if you caught a glimpse of Bigfoot, if any cryptozoologist actually saw Bigfoot, it would be the apex of every cryptozoologist's career because no one's ever done it. But to study it and its defenses, find out how it stayed hidden so long, what makes it so difficult to find? Good question. Being a phasmid of the order of Phantasmodea, a ghost insect, it disguises itself as plant matter, in this case, the reeds. Awful lot of reeds around, aren't there? I mean, I guess I can't comment on that, as I haven't really read... I haven't read a lot of manga, and what I have read has all been contemporary, set in the present day. And I suspect it may also have developed other specialized techniques to protect itself from predators, or scientists in our present case. Like what? It's my hypothesis that it has evolved certain electrochemical defenses that allow it to interfere with animal perception, impeding pattern recognition, confusing the visual cortex. But I cannot describe how these defenses work, much less how they evolved, without studying a live specimen. A ghost insect, he said? These people are looking for a ghost. So you're ghost hunters. No, that is precisely what we're not. We're zoological specialists looking for an extant species of phasmid. No one's ever captured a specimen, so all our information is based on first and third hand accounts. No one's ever found one. Not yet. That's what makes it a cryptid. Just out of curiosity, if there's no proof of its existence, how do you know it's real? I know it's real, the cryptozoologist says, brusquely enough that even he seems taken aback by it. It's clear that his obsession with the phasmid is driven by something more than pure pursuit of scientific advancement. By which I mean, I've heard enough first-hand accounts to believe quite firmly that the Insulindian phasmid is more than mere superstition. Maybe it's died out. I have to resist the thought. Such an extraordinary creature is doubtlessly highly resilient. After all, it's thought to be capable of parthenogenesis. Parthenogenesis, meaning the females don't need males to reproduce. Makes it easier for a species to survive in adverse conditions. A travesty, a crime against passion and common sense. Nature does not concern herself with ethical propositions. As a scientist, my interest is strictly dispassionate. What are these traps? They may not look impressive, but Lena designed them quite cleverly, so I'm sure they'll do the trick. She designed them? Yes. How do they work? Simple. Attracted by the locusts, the phasmid crawls down the funnel, and having eaten its fill, can't get back out. At least that's the intention. The net isn't a perfect solution, but we didn't want to use anything that might damage the specimen's delicate exoskeleton. Locust. Nearly all known phasmids are herbivores, of course, but we've hypothesized that the Insulindian phasmid might occasionally prey on other insects. Inside the traps, a number of locusts crawl and tumble over each other in a tiny, chittering swarm. A meat-eating stick insect? Does it pretend to be the reeds as some part of its ambush behavior? Seems unlikely. Thank you for your opinion. We've also included plant material in the traps to satiate your skepticism. Can't leave before we finish with the traps. My wife understands. Come on, Merle. We've been soaking out here for days. It's time to go back. And leave the traps? Absolutely not. I won't let Lena down. Soaked up to my nuts over here. We'll both catch reed crabs. Won't let Lena down. You're doing this for yourself, not her. I'm doing this for science, and so is she. It's important to her. She's seen it. A verified sighting on record, one of only 4 this century, and it's hers. She's sighted the phasmid? She didn't tell me that. Yes, that's how we first came to know each other, in fact. But that's her story to tell, not mine. Suffice to say, it's long been our dream to find proof of the Insulindian phasmid together. I can't abandon course now. I understand. All right. Interfacing would like to check the traps. Or set the traps. What if we check the traps for you? I didn't expect you to take such an interest in our work here, officer. Chaos is my method. I am its scion. Well, be that as it may, I'd really appreciate the help. Where are these traps? 4 in total. 1 to the south, on this little peninsula by the boathouses here. Another we set in Land's End to the northeast, behind a small sand dune, on your way to the radio tower after the church. Should I write these down? Just in case. Just in case. Have myself a little jot. Is this... Oh, I had a smaller notepad somewhere. And then I lost it. South. Whoops. South. This is just so that I don't have to spend as much time wandering when I go to do them. Because I'm not going to do it tonight. So we're going to bed. One is to the south on this little print of the boathouses. Land's End. North. East. Sand dune. After church. Near canal. Reeds. Check at least one of those before returning to this one, since I just said it. This one's more of a technicality, but still, better safe and stupid than sorry. Fourth is where I met him. Will I actually find one? Pursuit of knowledge is its own justification. Is it? If you think it's important, you have been right before. What do I do if there's a Phasmid? Bring him to me at once. Just make sure the trap is closed tight. He's not comfortable with the possibility you'll claim the find, but he's lying about this even to himself. A small white spray can, a pheromone mixture, musk and research chemicals. The pheromone should attract the insects to you, or at least prevent it from bolting at the sight of you. Lay it on me. I've been pheromoned. I hope you're not buying this. He dispenses it without letting you touch the canister, so it would be precious, like holy water. It is precious. A single dose cost me 50 real to develop. Not that I expect you to understand self-financing one's own research. Let's get to it. Whatever he thinks about these detours, it's clear these men are exhausted and in need of assistance. Thank you for your help. Gary and I will start breaking down camp. It's clear you like the hard stuff, brother. The what? Evening falls. The time has come to take the vows. The vows of blood and flesh. What's my lower intestine going on about? Lower intestine. The term is metabolic and circulatory system. What's the hard stuff? Fascism? What is fascism, though? Many things, but mostly... Hey, Gamer Anthro. Mostly about trusting your gut. What does your gut tell you is the source of Revachol's problems? I thought you were my circulatory system. Quit stalling, brother. We were talking about the weakest, worst, most insane thing. The weak link. Yes, them, but also woman. Woman. Woe men. Men of woe. You don't like them. They're insane. Their idiocy needs to be scrubbed off this world with rubbing alcohol. Women need to go back to the fucking kitchen. That's what... Why does Endurance add random umlauts like that? Because he can. Other people can't, but he can. That's what fascism boils down to. The rest is also important, but the main thing is that women need to know their put. Am I having some kind of stomach seizure? Stomach truth. You're having a stomach truth. Why am I getting this? Because you said the hard things that others won't say. The things. You've said them many times. Fascism sounds so bad, though. What if we called it something else? Like traditionalism. Okay. Yes, let's call it that. Good thinking. It sounds much better. Traditionalism. You like the sound of that. I will keep my vows for the glory of the Revacholian nation, or no? I think the only thing this does is makes a thing available. But the more I think about it, no, it could actually... I'm probably getting a point if I say yes to this. I think I will say no. There's a slow, painful growl somewhere in your intestines, knocking on your alcohol-engorged liver. It is one of betrayal and disappointment. Tiny cages, carefully constructed. Alright, we got another point. Alright, this one may... No. What have I said many times? I've said that I was going to put a point in endurance, so I shall. Because that makes it so that we have 2 hit points. So that I can reasonably expect that I do not need to spend a healing item every single time. Endurance will remember that. Don't you ever wish Hjelmdal was a real place? Was there somewhere else near them that I was going to check? Somewhere I haven't been? Like down here? Like over here? Over yonder? No, I suppose it is 1 o'clock. Let's go back and go to sleep. Because there probably is some penalty for staying up too late. What's that? Just a room that I've already ransacked. Great news. The boat is big enough for a grown man like you to fit underneath in a supine position. What would I be doing under there? I don't know, sleeping? What do people do under boats? This is merely a measurement from your visual cortex. Do with it what you want. Found somewhere new to sleep. Okay, interesting. I wish that I hadn't already paid for my room. Oh no, you put umlauts all over your stupid spam. You're banned. That guy had a very high endurance score, clearly. So, merely walking by this boat with high enough visual calculus is what allows me to stop spending money at the guy. I can pretty much finish the case from under there. Sarcastic self-pity is not what we need at this moment. I understand the situation looks grim, but we must continue. You have a home somewhere. All cops do. When this is done, you can return. But even knowing that, I still wouldn't be able to... I still couldn't get over here until Wednesday. I believe. Can we go steal this guy's stuff? No. she must be out for a stroll. Insensitive choice of words, being wheelchair bound as she is. See you in the morning. Tried this before, right? This doesn't work. Doesn't do anything. Go to sleep. It's not easy, but your bones are so tired from what feels like weeks of working on the case. You have to try. After what feels like hours, you feel like you might be sleeping.
Thoughts, baby. A million little lights in the dark. You're one fine instrument, brother. All those faces and all those names. All that laughter and screaming and scheming around. Every corner and every street. Recorded in you forever on Faraday.
Spinning in eternity.
On it goes for untold hours. At the disco where you first asked her to dance. Rising, rising above the dark curvature. The great wingspan of sleep, studded with stars. Behold, there are millions of them down there. The first time, the last time. The smoke in her mouth, the potted flowers, the faces turning, changing. It's the world, Harry boy, and you're made of it. Every day you're out there, you make more of yourself from it. I'm afraid you can't be unmade now. You can never forget this shit.
The rain, the snow. I don't want to. It's beautiful.
It's stuck on loop, whirling, spitting out words and images. You're the son of the world again. Harrister, a ceaseless agent, picking up litter and old newspapers.
I don't do that.
Collecting your little bubblegum wrappers and idiotic picture postcards. Meaningless keepsakes. Reading your awful letters and recalling things, aren't you? The endless names of the world. An address book you are. The map of a city.
What if I want to be the agent of nothing?
It's too late. You're not made of nothing anymore. You're something now, Harry. I tried to drown you in the black water, but you re-emerged, kicking and screaming, running. And for what? Solving your little crossword puzzles, doing your tasks, crossing names off your lists, trying to become some sort of world detector. It won't make it okay. It won't put smoke back in her mouth. 'Cause only love can break your heart. Beep, beep, beep. The alarm is ringing, Harry.
I didn't set an alarm. I never set an alarm.
And on. You barely slept 3 hours last night.
You can do it. It's nothing. Do it for the city. Go. Do it for the picture puzzle. Put it all together. Solve the world, one conversation at a time. Alright, who's ready to do some detectivizing? These guys, what are they doing here? What is he doing here? There's a smoking man. There's no smoking in here. I'm gonna write you a ticket. Hi, gendarme. Another rendezvous. You're here. What brings you here? I met your Sunday friend. You did. How did you like him? His name did not change to Smoker in the cafeteria. He's a government official. Do I not trust governments? Magically bureaucratic. He can be very useful. I guess that's the charm. He wasn't actually very useful at all. I learned nothing about the crime from him. Who is he? A visitor from the first world. He's not like you and me, gendarme. He can always return. To where? To his opportunities in Occident-sur-le-Clef. Still, his coming and goings bring some life to the village. Or is it just money? I don't know. How is my composure? I've already got the +1. Plus the +1. Clearly he's the mastermind. Failure. It's the sports. He's a sports guy. All about that physical prowess and athletic skill. Nothing else here. Alright. Alright.
Oh, hello, dear. There you are again.
I ran into your husband. How is he? Did he say why he hasn't returned yet? He's fine, ma'am. As we had suspected, he couldn't get back earlier because the water lock on the canal was broken. Now he's just finishing up some work. That's my morale. He's bound to catch a cold. Morel's a type of mushroom, right? Yeah. Thank you for putting an old woman's heart at ease, even if a little. You haven't, however. There are dangers out there. Our aging bodies fail. Her heart won't rest until Morel is safely back with her. Now maybe she'll... Yeah, tell me about those. Really no point in manipulating anyone. Should you please tell me about a couple of cryptids. The Morel. Ah, yes. Spelled with one L. The lieutenant throws you one of his looks. One cryptid, not a couple. One. This won't turn into some kind of cryptid extravaganza. Okay. What's the most dangerous cryptid? The Gnome of Garoma. No, that doesn't sound too bad. Oh, it is. None of its victims survived. Grieving relatives never even found their bodies because the gnome's venom dissolved organic tissue. What did this cryptid look like? It was reportedly a small creature with webbed fingers and a protruding forehead, an ungainly little thing, quite scary to look at. A couple of campers found it when it was already dying. They heard an odd wailing in the woods and followed the sound. They were scared and trapped it in tarpaulin to suffocate it. It still took the Gnome of Garoma an entire day to die. If the body of the creature was found, why aren't there detailed illustrations of it in science textbooks confirming the existence of this very lethal species? Alas, the first scientist who got his hands on the creature's corpse put it in a jar of formaldehyde, thinking it would detoxify the gnome's venom. Instead, all the venom leaked out of the creature's teeth and into the surrounding liquid, dissolving the creature itself. Unlikely. A poetic end, perhaps, but a real loss for science. Alas, always alas, and then it was gone. Isn't that overly convenient? Seems very convenient. I understand your skepticism, but that's what happens with things that are rare and stand out. Their disappearance is most memorable, and they are least likely to be found again. Is this a cryptid on the pen you gave me? You promised only to ask about, but don't you want to... All right, I did promise. You never told me you'd seen the phasmid. Oh, you don't want to hear some old woman's ramblings. No, I really want to know. It might have something to do with the hole in the universe. It was summer. I was building a racing track out of sand on the beach near a tall stand of reeds. Quite a tall one, many times my height, I remember. All of a sudden, I was 5.5 in Betancourt in the suburbs. My grandmother had a summer home there. The strangest moment of my life, I looked up and one of the reeds moved, not like a plant, but like a living thing. It stood up and looked at me. Its body unfolded like some antique toy. I've never seen anything like it. I didn't know this can happen, so I reached my arm and touched the thing. It felt just like a stalk of reed, but it moved, swaying, towering above me. After a while, 20 seconds, a minute maybe, it left. Went into the reeds. Did you follow it? I tried, but I was only a child. There was mud and high water. I couldn't see it anymore. I was just standing there, knee-deep in mud, looking around me. I ran back home to my grandmother and asked her if reeds could walk, and told her they were looking at me. Of course, she just laughed at me, but I knew what I'd seen. For years, it was a story I told at parties, when I wanted to impress boys, that sort of thing. Of course, most people just took it as a strange music anecdote. So did I, honestly, but then I met Morel. We were on our first date when I told him my story. You should have seen his face. He said my descriptions match the phasmid down to a T. Its white marble limbs, the way it moved. So this is beyond significant. Its limbs are white? Not all of them, as far as I remember, but some of them on the inside, like stalks of marble. How big was it? Taller than me. Kim, what do you think of this? I think it was a wonderful story, ma'am. But I don't believe it. A child left unattended on a warm day. Children make up stories, then end up believing them themselves. Okay. Ah, yes. Superstardom. Holding that chihuahua? Perhaps a chihuahua. Gosh, what is all this? They say the world isn't ready for a rock and roll cop. No one wants their state monopoly on violence to be mixed with celebrity worship. They claim to know it would be dangerous for detectives to rise to the ranks of demigods and have sexual encounters with barely legal cover girls. It would be insane, they say. To all this, you say, fuck off and die, in a cool voice. You people have no idea how good these cops are going to get. They're going to crack 20 cases a day. In the future, cops will be like astrophysicists or prime ministers or prophets. And you're the first one. So it raises 4 things that are maybe important for cops. I mean, visual calculus is. I don't know about the rest. But I have a -1 logic for this. Not thrilled with that. Not entirely. Sorry cop? I'm no sorry cop. I'm really not. So yeah, I feel as though increased skill caps, not all that useful. Like, I haven't been specializing enough in anything to go, like, I hit the cap, but I want to put more points in. Even though maybe I should do that. Maybe I should have 1 or 2 skills that are like, yeah, I have a 10 in this. If you ask me to roll an 18, I actually could without much trouble. Do I have anything more to say to them?
It's you again. What is it?
Okay, I talked to Classy. Now I need to talk to Ruby. Why? She's the next link in the chain. I need to pin this on someone. I've decided to pin... I suspect she killed the victim. A civil war is brewing, and the only way to prevent it is to solve the murder. That means talking to Ruby. Sounds like you want to push this steaming pile of shit on anyone, and now you've picked Ruby. Well, not on my watch, you won't. Ruby's one of us. I'm gonna throw her under your moral intern steamroller. Fuck that shit. And fuck you too. He throws a glance at Titus as the last syllable leaves his lips. The big guy sighs. Ruby is missing. If you hide from the police in a murder investigation, you become a suspect. You know how it works, guys. That's nothing. That's just legalese. You don't even have a sound theory. I don't want to be rude, but we're trying to get some R&R here. Think you could fuck off now? Wow! Look at that. Amazing logic. Could I get it even higher? Could I equip a logic something? We'll keep sticking around. Alright. Am I already... This is giving me the +2, which is helping a lot. That's a -1. There's a +1. Yeah. Now that I'm wearing these glasses, let me tell you how I think it went down.
It's you again. What is it?
Sudden flash of lightning in your neocortex. The hostel cafeteria is lit by its eerie blaze. Floor plans, bullet trajectories, webs of human emotion, all channeled into a single thought. Why are you so sure Ruby didn't off him? Because she was here all night with us. He's cobbling together shit so he can put her away. It's Cop 101. She was here all night? The lieutenant ignores the tattooed man. 11:30 to 12:25. She was here during all that time? Yeah, with us, drinking. Not the bar. She didn't go to the bar for a drink? No. That's a lie. You know that's not the case. Alright, maybe she took a fucking leak, okay? For one moment. Maybe went out too. She has a complex operation to run from her lorry. She's a busy girl, always has been. This complex operation is probably something illegal. Just because she was gone for 5 minutes doesn't mean she magically got to the roof and shot the merc. I've been through this. It's not plausible. He's been through it. That means he's suspected her too. We're in. We got Ruby accounted for some time during the window. Let's place her on the roof. The winch out back? I never thought of that, but that's not it. There's a secret route in the kitchen that leads straight to the roof. Let's say this first. You do agree the shot came from the roof, right? Why not? You can't draw a straight line into Classy's window from any of the surrounding buildings. Not from what I know about Martinez. Maybe from the coast? Like I said, I've been too busy dealing with you idiots. So no, I don't think it was a sniper. It was close up. 72% chance the bullet came from the roof. 72%? There's a percent in all. Where did you get it from? Your guys in the lab? Definitely lie. The truth is not credible. Drama? Are you sure? Okay. I analyzed it on the spot. Turns out I can do... No, we'll say I have a ballistics lab. Wouldn't hurt to have one of those in Martinez. Still, all the labs in the world don't put her on that roof. How did she get there? Climb? Secret route in the kitchen. How? So what looks like an abandoned pinball workshop. People say there was a pinball arcade here sometime before the hostel. What was it called, Theo? East Delta Pinball Arcade. Weird place. Went bankrupt. How'd she get up? There's no room for a staircase in this building, or an elevator for that matter. The elevator is outside the building. It's an old dumbwaiter used for moving pinball machines up and down from the workshop. Well, compliment. Good one, Kim. Thank you. The lieutenant is glad he got the floor plan right there. Ruby could have gone up, shot him, come down, all under 7 minutes. It's quite the theory. We need to have a look at that secret passage, boys. I'm on it, boss. Right when the law clears, me and Angus are going up there. It's a dumbwaiter, not an industrial lift. How about I go instead? Shush. Shush now. You got something else to back this route up, or is that it? If we firmly establish Ruby could have access to the roof. Okay. Firmly? Firmly doesn't go well with could have. There's a route to the roof. Me and the boys needed to check it out. That's what we've established. That route does not put a bullet in his head. A gun does that. And Ruby doesn't carry one. Phase 2, murder weapon. Get a gun in her hand. If not that, at least a shadow of doubt in the shape of a gun. I'm not going to tell them about my lost gun. Or maybe I already did. There were weapons like this. Well, we'll say jacketed first. I analyzed the back bullet that killed him. It was jacketed. So it had to come from a breech-loading rifle, military grade. Not even you militia monkeys have those. This goes against your short-range theory. If the murder weapon was military grade, how did Ruby get it? People tend to put guns in there. Only I do that, and I'm exceptional. Just being upfront with what I know. And it's mighty forthcoming of you, so let me extend you the same courtesy. She's connected to you-know-what. Organized crime. Down in Jamrock, probably. He's not being too forthcoming. This is not a surprise. So she may have access to semi-automatics, but it's a long fucking stretch of the imagination. Show him the rifle. That's an antique. A Bell McGrave. Takes the gun, inspects it, and hands it back to you. It's inoperable. Where'd you get it? There's a cellar under the bookshop. It was hidden there, with others just like it. 20, maybe 30 rifles, Titus. Also broken, but still, there were too many. And there must be other caches, too. God damn it, we need to close the dump down for good. It's a goddamn breech loader, too. Find one that works, and you got a military-grade weapon that shoots jacketed ammunition. Shakes his head. He sees it. This is coming together. He must. Time to really close the deal. Let's not get dramatic? Yeah, we'll be dramatic. Hold out the bullet. The blonde man holds the mushroomed Deathbringer, looks at the mushroomed Deathbringer in the evidence bag and says, yeah, the bitch is jacketed all right. 4mm, too. Whoa. Well, goddamn. It's not proof, but it's a possible murder weapon. Close to her. Too damn close. You have been thorough. I'll give you that. I didn't say I'd prove she had the murder weapon, just that we need to find her. Alright. Keep talking. I'm getting a bit curious about some things myself. T, we're not seriously considering it, are we? Ruby wouldn't do this. Why would she do something like this? Phase 3. Motive. The last component. So the only person that we've heard about, like, Classy had said, oh, she was romantically interested in me. She was jealous of the guy. I probably don't believe that. I think that's yet another thing that, well, or maybe it's the truth, but I think Classy knows more and decided not to tell us. It's not why did she kill him, it's why did she organize the cover-up. She could have just been covering up for herself. Why go through all that effort? It was her idea, wasn't it? The hanging? You went along, but she suggested it. She had like a fully formed plan and shit, right when she came back downstairs. Really, Shanks? Classy wanted to talk to another girl, that's all. She was just the first one up there. I could have come up with that plan if I'd been first. Eugene, let's assume you killed him. Think. You kill him. Get up there. Shoot him. Get down. Would you prefer to go on trial with your friends as part of a lynch mob or alone for committing murder? If she used us to cover her own shit up, well, that's a serious violation of the Hardy Code, boss. Which is why she didn't. She would never do that. Why aren't more of you defending her? This is fucking stupid, Titus. Glenn. I thought the same thing when she skipped town and left us in this shit. Ooh, he didn't rule her out completely, and she skipped town. This is good. Ruby appeared to know that something was wrong. No, man, that's just Ruby. She got shit under control. That's her whole thing. That's why she's so good. Plus, man, it's like female intuition. You know, women talk to women. Which is sort of why we need someone on the team who they talk to. Or, she knew what happened because she killed him. Not so useful. I don't know enough about her relation. Well, we'll say it anyway. Maybe she killed him because she thought it would curry favor with you. You had expressed on occasion your dislike of mercenaries' presence in Martinez, right? Whack someone in my district? That doesn't curry much favor with Titus Hardy. She has to know that. Titus, you have to see it. Things don't add up. We need to talk to her. A very small nod, and a trickle of tobacco spit on his lip. Yeah, I see it. There's one more thing I've been wondering about. Ever since you asked me where she is, add it to your list of suspicions if you want. I don't know. I don't know where she went. She just up and left. Got real scared, too. Wouldn't tell me where, however hard I asked. Want to know why? She was afraid I would tell you. Maybe she was right. By now I probably would. She knew there's evidence on her, and that we'd find it. This is typical suspect behavior, why fleeing is always incriminatory. Perhaps. Ask her if you find her. It won't be easy, though. She made sure of that. When did she leave? Friday afternoon, when you first arrived. I got word the RCM was in town, then she came to see me. Told me she was leaving. That's when we had our little conversation. What was she scared of? Me, as in the RCM? No, you, as in the cop with the sideburns and disco clothes. No wonder she's afraid. I've come to declare the ending of the human experiment. They heard me singing, so maybe... She probably knew me from his singing days. Yeah, it's real funny. She wasn't laughing, though. You know, when I first saw you limp in here, I thought she was paranoid or sniffing her own supply, but no, I'm not so sure. What else did Ruby tell you about me? She said you have a funny taste in clothes, and that you won't stop. Won't stop until you have something on her. She said she's heard of you from Jamrock, that you're a human can opener, that you play suspects against each other, open them up like cans. And then when they're all empty, just move on to the next can. Don't look back, unless there was something you missed. Fucking hell. Titus, did he just open Angus up like a can? Yes, he did. Now we can whine about it, whack him, or we can go on with our lives. I'm having a go on with our lives kind of day, Al. What about you? Anything else? Anything? Yeah, there was something else. She wouldn't tell me, though. I could see she wanted to. It was burning on her lips. This cop, Titus, this cop, But she was too scared. I wonder if Ruby could be the ex-wife. Right? We don't know if she died or if she left, right? I think she died. Maybe. Do you have any clues on where... She's not far. We know that much. She didn't take her lorry, so she's on foot. Good fucking luck, man. She knows this place like the back of her hand. You'll never find her. Yeah, Al, and we won't either. She's not really a hardy candidate anymore, is she? She's not, Glenn. Have you looked for her? A little, on the coast. Where have you looked for her, more precisely? More precisely, on the coast, past the waterlock. He nods southwest. She's not here, so I'm thinking she's there. You're all here. Who's out looking? Oh, I could have said no to reaction speed? Lizzie needed some air. So she didn't go tell Everard. No one goes to tell Everard anything. He knows what he has to know fast. It's called a radio, you believe. The gardener may have played you again when she stormed out. She has her own plan. Where on the coast? There's some shit houses there. A cinder block town. The fisher folk there refuse to unionize, so that's the one place we haven't looked. Here they have a shack where junkies sometimes crash. Time for you to step up. We will start there. One more question. What does Ruby look like? Boyish? Hair's red, dyed. She looks like a lorry man. Puts his hand out. Yeah, okay. It's firm as grip and reassuring, like holding a piece of unpolished granite. Not just granite. Tightly packed RCM Sergeant material. I could just think it. You should be a cop, Titus. When are you gonna get it through your suicidal head? I already am. I just wasn't sure you were. And he still isn't. People aren't afraid of good cops in the way Ruby was afraid of you, he thinks. Then he turns back to his men. Boy. Oh, hey, how far am I into the game? Time-wise, it is Thursday morning. The game starts on Monday, and we're up to Thursday, although it is very difficult to tell, like, it's a very, very non-linear game. There's so much stuff out there that you could do or miss, and you could do it in any order. And, I don't know quite how to put it. I'm supposed to ask Kuno about more stuff? Is there stuff I didn't ask Kuno yet? Time-wise, how far in am I? Like, 15 hours? Is that about right? 18 hours? You have a pretty hot suspect right now, don't you? That Ruby of yours. Yeah, and? Notice how it came together without casting too much suspicion on Classier. It was nice and Ruby-centric in the end. Anything strike you a bit off about this mishmash? The bullet didn't have to come from the roof. Could have come anywhere on the coast. The bullet was jacketed and was just lying around. It turned out the bullet was an antique. So far, no one has mentioned hearing the shot. I didn't even think of that, but there's also this. The footprints in the pinball workshop did not fit with the odd souls on the crime scene, and also no one has mentioned hearing the shot. Notice how this hasn't come up at all. Even Hardy and his boys didn't mention it. Neither did you. Turned out the bullet was an antique. True. Strange how you conducted the whole advanced ballistics analysis and then hand-waved it. Bullet was jacketed. They don't just lie around everywhere, do they? Good point. Rather rare these days. Could have come from anywhere. You're suddenly so certain it came from the roof behind the window. Finish thought. Just finish it and conveniently go on. She's watching you leave right now. You know that? Free as a bird on that roof. Lighting up a cigarette and thinking, am I glad Ruby's in this shit and not me? Don't listen to this guy. His theory was solid. He's just jealous. The theory was solid. He's just jealous. Move on. It's no use harassing her further. I thought she had left. Maybe she's still up there. Oh, should I go arrest her? We know that her documents are missing. She might have gone and gotten... Oh, man. She is up there. Oh, but it like now that I went and did all of that, it kind of doesn't make sense to go back and go, oh well, you know, even though we've got information that it makes it more. No, you know what? Soon we're gonna go arrest her soon, as soon as it's too late. I want to be able to do it as I drop a bombshell on her, but of course that's when it's going to be too late. You know what else I haven't done? I haven't opened up the ledger and read some more cases. I'll have to do that soon.
The waves are beginning to die down. Look at those little bastards. Simmer down, bastards.
Why does she care about the waves so much? What is it with waves and fishermen? We need to be out there with them, fishing, making a living. So ask them to accommodate me. But until that happens, I can try to assist you the best I can. So what'll it be, officer? I'm looking for someone else, actually. I'm looking for a suspect who might have stayed in this neighborhood. Very recently. She might have arrived on Friday. I've been out on the sea for most of the past week. The weather's been good for fishing, so I usually start at 4 in the morning. Yes, that's the optimal time. Gotta make the most of the calm. I've been sleeping like a corpse after. The sea really takes its toll. Now I'm just waiting for the wind to settle to get out there again. Sorry I couldn't help you. Maybe I can help you find someone else. Nope. Alright, let's, I guess, run around and check those traps while I'm at it. Little children. Scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone. You guys look identical. The stone-kicking one becomes frantic all of a sudden, as if that's something to be scared of. He looks just like me. Yeah, I said that. You're bad with kids. I am, yes. Don't worry, everyone is. Alone. Oh, I can't jump over that? Fine. Where was the first peninsula? Boathouses. Is that where I just was? Here's Reed's. Not there, though. Over here. This is where he meant, right? Also, I want some perception, right? A door, a building, a hiding place. Could the instigator be inside? There's no way the perp is in here, officer. Look how scarred the boards are. All attempts to pry them off have failed. Can we think she's in there? The suspect? God, I hope not. I can't see a way in, though many have tried. Can I try to get in, though? Not this time. The opposition is insurmountable. But I like the spirit. Have some points. It's lonely and cold without points. Did I get points? I suppose I got points. Oh, is that the trap? It's right there. Trap in the reeds. Yes, look around. Reeds of a residential building. Locusts are crawling around in the trap, confused but uneaten. You see no carnivorous reed phasmid gorging on them. Big surprise. I'm not expecting to find anything. Getting some fresh air. I meant no offense, just... Alright, so there was one. There was two. Northeast, past the church. And also near the canal, which, well, I'm close enough to the canal. Let's go there. I think. Right? That was where we came over. I should have been looking near the car. So what are you? Oh, this is the church. I somehow accidentally wandered to the church. That's not what I wanted. We'll come back to the church later. So he said past the church, near the whatever shack, this thing. There. The reed shakes sadly in the coastal breeze. Snow specks the stalks. Most of it melts quickly. The reeds seem to be waiting for something. Panicked locusts. Another empty trap. I'm enjoying the cardio. I was up for a good jog. Otherwise, why do I still be on this case with you?